Now, so we are recording. Welcome everybody to the Stay True team call. It is Wednesday, November 19th. For some reason, no matter how many times I look at that date before I get on the call, I always have to look at it again to make sure I'm saying the right date. But anyway, wanted to welcome you to the team call, and we're going to get right to it tonight. We don't want to waste too much time. News and announcements, please go to your online office to get updated on that. Coach Online Office in the right-hand column, you'll see the latest news and updates. Normally I'd hit on those, but I want to have as much time available for you guys to listen to tonight's call and interact with us and ask questions and everything like that. So the one thing I wanted to touch on beforehand, we are going to, I think it's kind of official now, we've decided to use Google Documents in order to share files, share documents, and share things that we'll be referring to tonight for you guys. So if you haven't, and most of you probably already haven't, but basically shoot me your email. If you want to be part of that, I need your email address. So message me your email so that way I can add you to the shared Google Doc documents or file folder. So just message me on Facebook. Try to do that before we get off this call, so that way it's fresh in your memory. You've done it. You can cross it off your list and not think about it again. With that being said, I am going to turn the call over to the lovely Beth to talk about inviting.
Well, and Dan, I know Dan has some points too, but what I'm going to read off of right now, this will all be in that Google document. So don't feel like you have to scribble down word for word what I'm saying. But we wanted to talk about inviting new coaches to join our team. And just what we did, like Dan and Glenn and I kind of picked some sample ways to invite them. And obviously you're going to tailor it to whoever you're speaking with or messaging, but you can at least have a guideline of what to say. But I wanted to start with like key points that you should remember with the inviting process. And this can really be with a challenge group. Some of these carry over to the challenge group as well. But one thing is very important. Sometimes, and this helped me become braver with presenting the coaching opportunity, was that if you don't, there's so many Beachbody coaches now, if you don't tell them about the coaching opportunity, someone else will. So they may come into one of our challenge groups and have an awesome time and love it, and they do T25 and it's a great program. And then you never reach out to your customer and say, there's an opportunity to save money or to earn money. And then they meet someone else on Facebook who mentions it to them right away, and they get that person as a coach. So don't be afraid to approach people about it, because if you don't, someone else is definitely going to at some point. Definitely, if you want to grow your business, you have to share the coaching opportunity. So and I'm the perfect example of that. Like I didn't have to, I never felt like the push that I had to make this business be like the money for our whole family. And I like to do it, and I just always did it. I mean, I sell the challenge packs, and I get Success Club, and I just have a lot of customers. But really, I can see this huge difference, and I've told you guys this before, between what Glenn makes. I'm selling a lot more product than he is, usually on a monthly basis, but he's making more because he has a bigger team under him. So definitely, if you want to make this business, if you want to earn income, then you need to be bringing coaches on the team. Remember to follow up. And one of my neighbors the other day that's a coach reminded me, like, the average person, you ask them 5 times before they say yes. So don't feel bad like mentioning it to someone and then following up again later. And some of those examples are in here too. And this is just something I use for myself. Don't feel like you're pressuring them. You want to make sure that they know that there's an opportunity to make money and to save money. And just like I would tell you about getting a customer. I have people that they look like they have all the money in the world. They're dressed to the nines and they live in a huge house and they drive a nice car, and you try to sell them a challenge pack and they're like, yeah, I just don't have the money for that. And then you have a friend that seems like they're barely scraping by and they're buying a challenge pack and maybe an extra Shakeology for their husband. So people have priorities, and you cannot present the opportunity to anyone, just like I would say invite anyone to a challenge group. Don't assume that because they go to the gym, they aren't interested in a home program. And don't assume that because someone seems very successful that they don't have credit card debt that they need extra money for. Or I remember being on a team call or a wake up call one time, and the girl was a physical therapist, and she said, like her coach never assumed she would want to do the business to earn money, but she was able to quit. She loved coaching so much, she quit her physical therapy job to be a Beachbody coach. And that was like, wow, okay, like this opportunity can be for anyone that wants to be at home or be more flexible, be their own boss. So make sure you present it to anyone. Don't worry about how you may view their status. And then the last key point is you have to believe in the business to feel comfortable sharing it. And just like I would say, the same goes for the programs. Like the reason you're excited to share them, or the reason you want to share Shakeology, is because you've tried it, you like it. You've done P90 and it's given you great results. You're doing Body Beast and you love it, so you want to share it. So just like just for the coaching too, like if you believe in Beachbody and you think it's an awesome company, then you can share it with people. And I love the phrase, like, don't mistake my passion for pressure. Who was it that said that?
It was a Zapata rep or something that you were talking.
Oh, it wasn't even a Beachbody coach, but I'm like, wow, I like that, because sometimes when someone asks you about a program, you may seem like super excited about it, but that's a great way to say, like, if you find yourself rambling on and on, you could say, I'm sorry, don't mistake my passion for this for pressure. I love these products and I want to share them with you.
And that's another thing. If you feel like you've followed up with somebody umpteen times, or, whatever, just that's another good thing to say to open up. Hey, I'm not pressuring you. I'm very passionate about this. You know what I mean? And it kind of takes that salesy high pressure off of people, or kind of just gets rid of that elephant in the room. So.
Okay, so in this, I printed this off, but in the file that Glenn's going to put into the Google document, there's a couple different categories. So if you're going to and I'm going to just read some of these to you guys. If you're going to introduce the business to a current customer, so say they've already been in a challenge group, they're already familiar with Beachbody products, there's a step 4 process in there that's like step 1, thank them with gratitude. So say, hey, Glenn, fill in their name. Your commitment to this challenge is amazing. I know the other members are benefiting from your motivation and support, and I can tell how much you love helping coach them to achieve their goals. I want to say thank you for being such a great participant and role model to everyone. And then you can, just leave it at that and see how they respond. Once they have responded, you could say, and especially if they're excited about it, you can say, have you ever thought about becoming a Beachbody coach? You were so supportive and helpful in the challenge group, which is exactly what a coach does. I can see that you have all the qualities of a great coach, and I think you'd be amazing. I'd love to talk to you about the opportunity to help more people change their lives. Have you ever considered coaching? So you're not like dumping all the information on them, and I'm totally guilty of dumping information on people. But you're waiting, and then when they get back to you, depending, because a lot of times I say, I just don't know if I could sell, or I'm just not sure I'd be good at it. Step 3 is you tell them their commitments and kind of reassure whatever fears or whatever they told you they were worried about by something like this. You're going to be a great coach. Don't worry, you won't be on your own. We have a system set up to help you get comfortable running accountability groups with us. We'll schedule time to work together so I can answer all your questions and make sure you get started right. What do you say? Are you ready to get signed up? And then for step 4, remember, like if they bought a challenge pack, you can remind them that their enrollment is free if they're getting ready to buy one. Also know that even if they've bought a challenge pack in the past, like even if it was 6 months ago, you can they'll pay the $40 coach fee, but then like within 2 or 3 days, you can, and we can help you if you can't find this, you can submit a form and they'll get refunded that $40. So the next thing is, Glenn, did you realize you can actually sign up to be a coach for free? I can transfer you for free since you bought a challenge pack in the past. Therefore, you don't have any expenses for the first 30 days. That gives us 30 days to try and get your Shakeology paid for. Are you ready? I can walk you through the process and send you a video on it as well. And then here's another approach, and this would be like, this is one of mine where I just dump everything into one response. You're so great in our challenge group. Thank you. I'm not sure if you've considered coaching, but if you've thought about it at all, I'd love to give you more information about it. You would get a discount on your own products, including Shakeology, plus you could help out in our challenge groups and change some lives along the way. Either way, I'm really proud of you and have loved your interaction in, and then like I'd say, Get Lean for Halloween or whatever the group was. Do you guys have any questions about that part, or do you want me to run through them all and then you can ask your questions?
I'd say run through them all.
Okay, so the next one is for a Shakeology customer, and there's a 2-step thing for this. Hey, Glenn, I'm so happy you're getting the results you were hoping for with Shakeology. I can tell it's helping you feel great, not to mention you're looking amazing. You got to throw in those compliments. Yeah,
I do, yeah.
You look so good. And you've been such a great advocate for Shakeology. Thank you for helping me talk to people about what an amazing product it is. And then once they respond, you come back with, I know you've been sharing your success and transformation with your friends and family. Have you ever thought about helping them change their lives like you have? I'd love to talk to you about the opportunity to become a Beachbody coach and help more people benefit from Shakeology. Does that sound interesting to you? Now, I haven't, like, this is one of the ones that I've used recently, because some people are like, get to the, you know, like they want to just know what the deal is. And I'll say, are you still enjoying your Shakeology? I want to make sure you're aware you can buy it at a discounted rate as a Beachbody coach. Coaches save 25% on all products and programs, and they make 25% in commission on anything they sell. Even if you do not have any interest in working the coaching business, you are still welcome to become part of our team as a discount member so you can save money on your own orders. And I don't know if we put this one in here. I'll have to add it. There's one about just reaching, because some people say, you know, what all does it entail? And the short way of saying, instead of saying, well, it costs $17 a month to be a coach, but you're paying $97 for your Shakeology. I mean, instead of making it really wordy, you can just say, basically, if you're buying Shakeology every month, signing up as a coach saves you about $18. For some reason, that one isn't in here, but we can add it. Okay, there's 2 more categories here. One is reaching out to an entrepreneur, a friend or someone that you know that is a successful entrepreneur. And here's 2 examples. Hey, Glenn, can you do me a favor? As you know, I'm trying to build my Beachbody business. It's been a great opportunity for me, and I believe it could be that for you as well. I don't know if it's for you, but could you do me a favor and watch a 15-minute presentation on the business and give me your feedback? You know I respect you, and your opinion would go a long way. Let me know what sticks out to you and if you clearly understand the business by watching it. And that is a way to just, see, like, just get their opinion. And if they come back and say, yeah, that sounds great, then you can follow it up with, do you know of anyone that may be interested? And, you know, maybe it's them, or maybe they know someone, and maybe they don't know anybody, but you're still sharing it with someone else. And then here's another one, someone that's already in a business that maybe is going well, maybe not. Hi, Glenn. I know you mentioned you were looking for a second income and an opportunity that would help you get out of whatever their current business is. Would you have time to meet up this week? I'd love to talk to you about what I do. I think it'd be a good fit because I know you've been working out and obviously enjoying building relationships with others. Even if it's not for you, we get to have a good conversation and catch up. Let me know. And that can be just finally getting face to face with someone and they can kind of see and feel your excitement about the products. It can at least get you in front of someone to present the opportunity. And then this last one is for a trainer, because trainers and gym owners and instructors, like they already have a platform. They already have a CrossFit, gym owner. They have a platform, and Dan is the perfect example of this because he has his women's boot camp. So if there's other people like, if like a Dan Barry, then this is what we did. This is how we introduced it to Dan. So, hi, Glenn, tell me about your training business. How's it going? Are you staying busy? And then if they say good, you can say, that's great to hear. Would you have time to meet up one day this week? I'd love to share some of the things I have going on right now that might complement what you're already doing. And then when you meet with them, you can say, listen, you have a platform of health and wellness. You already have a following. This is something that you can offer to your clients on the days they're not with you, or with Shakeology, you can offer them an awesome meal to help maximize their results. If they say that the training isn't going well, you can say, I'm sorry to hear that. I know how you feel. It's hard to work around all the different schedules, especially when you want it more than your clients. Just curious, have you ever considered online coaching? It allows you to expand your reach as well as your knowledge without taking up physical time. And trust me, the rest is needed when you do what we do. Do you have time to meet up this week? I'd love to share what it's doing for me. It's become half my income. My hope is to make it my full-time income soon. And then two other ideas that Glenn and I were talking about is when you have someone comment like on a Facebook post or Instagram, or like, even if you're messaging back and forth about a recipe that you shared or something, you can always at the end of your email or your message to them say, by the way, would you be interested in learning what I do as a coach? Just throw it out there. Like, just every time you present it is like one more, if you present it 10 times, hopefully 1 or 2 of them. What is the stat? If you present it.
What, 7 times or 5?
How many times? You're not even listening.
I am listening. I was replying to somebody who sent me their email.
I'm saying how many times you have to present it to get one person to commit? Usually
5 to 7 times.
Okay. And then another thing that Glenn does, and this is we use the Automatic CEO that Doug Fitzgerald has set up, and he had the idea of at the end of your email, have a link that says, click here to find out more about what I do. And then that way, no matter where you're sending your emails, I have a new customer that actually bought a challenge pack this month. When I was asked to be the room mom for the kids, my daughter's class, which I was like, no, don't ask me. I cannot commit to that. And then no one else would do it. So I was like, all right, how hard can this be? And I sent out the initial email with the class list. And at the bottom, I used my Beachbody, like my signature on my email says, I sign it, blessings or whatever, Beth. And then it says Beth Akins with my credentials, Beachbody coach, and there's a big Beachbody logo. And I had someone, when I sent the class list, say, I may be interested in trying Shakeology. And right before the Halloween party, when I sent out the reminder for the Halloween party, she messaged me and said, do you have samples I can try? Because I had already sent her the video and said, whenever you're interested, let me know. So I sold her some samples, and she ended up buying a challenge pack like a week later. So anytime you can put a little plug in there for yourself, whether it's for products or the coaching, I would recommend it. And just to follow up on these, like when someone says, yes, they are interested, then you can use use your third-party tools, use a video. And there's one in there, the automatic CEO one is 15 minutes, right?
It's like 17 minutes long. I just
And
tell
there's
people
a-
it's just short of 20 minutes.
And then there's a 7-minute one that I
Beachbody
share all the
does.
time from Beachbody. So,
Yeah.
Dan, what do you want to add to that?
I got a couple things I wrote down. Those are all great examples, and I think when this document gets into Google Docs, I think you guys will be happy with it because it will give you a good reference point of how to get your conversation started. Also, before I say anything else, I want to give a shout out to Lindsay. Good to see you on here. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I'm going to call Kristen Lopez. That's Beto, right? Is that what?
Oh yeah, my little hidden face.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just want to say hi to Kristen because I don't ever get to call you that. I don't know if I should. I shouldn't. It's like a secret identity. So
Yeah, my alias.
it's good to see you on the call. I wish I
Thank
was
you.
video, but I think Glenn and Beth somehow sabotaged my video camera, and I'm stuck with this whole picture. No, there's the few things that I wrote down as Beth was talking there because I did go through some of the reading on the customer to coach document as we were getting prepared for this call, and there's some great information in there, guys. One of the keys to remember is Beachbody has given us some great tools. Don't be afraid to search them out and read through them and use them because a lot of this stuff is kind of on there as well. But one of the stats that stuck out to me was 71% of Beachbody Diamond coaches were customers first. So I know that when I'm thinking of, having a good coach and bringing somebody into this business, I want them to be a customer first. So my thought process is usually try to get them started on something. Obviously, we always want to get them started on a challenge pack because that gets us Success Club points. But if they can only afford a program, have them start the program and get them into the challenge group because that's going to give you the opportunity to build a relationship with them. And I guess here's 4 things. If I had to break it down, because one of my comments here is make it simple, right? The 4 things that kind of stuck out to me as Beth was talking was 1, relationships are key. You have to build relationships. You have to care about the people that you're bringing into this business. 2, make it simple. 3, and this one is for me. This is what stuck out to me. It may be different for you guys, but 3, always get face-to-face or on the phone. Get some form of interaction, contact with them that you can make it emotional and make it personal. And then 4, compliment, compliment, compliment. The easiest way to open a conversation or have somebody reply back to you is to compliment them. Like she said in that first step, gratitude. Wow, you really did awesome in this challenge group. It was so cool to see you interact with everybody. You're a natural at this. You did awesome. And when you do that, at the very least, they're going to respond with, thank you so much. I don't know if I saw it that way, but I appreciate that you did. And now it opens that gate to say, no, you're doing what a coach does. I mean, really, you're good at it. You should consider it. If you want to talk about it, let me know. But if you have brought them into this process for the right reason, because you care about them, because you know what their goals are, because you want to help them get to those goals, you're now investing in them emotionally and building that relationship so that when the coach conversation comes up, it isn't something that comes out awkward. It's something that is going to naturally occur because you guys are friends, even if you brought them in as a stranger. So all these scripts that are going to be on that document are great, but the purpose of them is to give you an easy way to start that conversation because it really does need to be easy. Sometimes we overthink it. And just to give an example, the entrepreneur one, I have used that one twice this week. And I actually sent one to my buddy he's a sales, inside sales manager. He's very skilled at sales. He's definitely somebody who I've talked to in the past who would basically say, I'm not going to do that exercise stuff. But I said, you know what? I'm just going to try this. And I sent him the one that says, which one was it that Beth just read? Hey, can you do me a favor? As you know, I'm trying to build my Beachbody business. So I wasn't hiding it from him. I'm being straight up. Hey, I'm trying to build my Beachbody business. So he knows that I'm not trying to pull any punches with him. I said, it's been a great opportunity for me, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd watch this presentation, this 15-minute presentation. Give me some honest feedback, because I told him, I said, honestly, I am trying to build a business with people who understand the opportunity, people like you. And I want to know that what you get out of this video when you watch it. So I had two goals here. One was to get his honest feedback, because I want to know that if I send that video to other people of his caliber, I want to know what they're thinking. So by asking him to do that, I'm at least getting that. And then two, my second hope is that he will watch that video and it will either generate more questions about the business, or he'll say, hey, that doesn't sound like a bad opportunity. And I did follow up with him and I asked, hey, what'd you think? And his response was, it was to the point. It gave all the details, just the right amount. It was precise. And he said, and it wasn't, and this was the one that surprised me that I wasn't expecting. He said, there wasn't a bunch of people jumping around, lights shining and being goofy and all that stuff. So because that 7-minute video, which is great, there's a different personality that's going to appreciate that video, right? This one he definitely liked because it got to the point. He got the details. He knew what he needed to know. And he understood the business. So it was great to get his feedback. So now I am definitely going to feel more comfortable sending that Automattic CEO Doug Fitzgerald presentation to other business owners or entrepreneurs or people who are, and the reason I sent to him is he has a sales job and he openly admitted to me he has a lot of downtime. So it's like, but this could be an opportunity for you on the side. Now, he may or may not take advantage of this. I don't know. I'll keep you posted on how it goes. But yeah, I think those were some of the things that stuck out as Beth was talking about these and reading off these different scripts.
Yeah, I think the big point is to just plant as many seeds as you can. And Dan, I'm glad to hear that he thought, because I know you look up to him as a business person and getting advice from him. So I'm really glad to hear that he thought Doug's presentation was spot on. And so that's just another strong tool that we have to utilize. And if you don't have an Automattic AC or Automattic CEO account yet, just reach out to, I have one, Dan has one, Beth has one. I would encourage you guys at some point to do that. But until that point, I have loaned out that link to other people on our team to use. Now, their contact info, they'll have to put their email in and stuff. That'll come to me. But of course, I'm not going to, steal that person from you or anything crazy. So
the Automattic CEO costs $24.99 a month.
Right.
So it is helpful if you use it, but you want to make sure that you're making enough to pay for it.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I was initially against it because I thought, $25 a month, but I can tell you that it's so worth it. It is so worth it because it's like your secretary. It's like that's everything for you. It's everything automated, and I'm not even using it 100%. I'm still learning, but the more I learn, the more I'm like, geez, why did I not use these before?
Right.
Yeah. Can I add one more thing on that too, just on how I'm using it? Not to turn this into an Automattic CEO phone call, but
go ahead.
The event page that I started for Insanity Max, every post that I put in my event page, at the bottom I say, because when you send that link to the landing page of Insanity Max or any program, Doug Fitzgerald does do a drawing for a free giveaway for that program. So, and that's not an expense to you. That's something that they do. So at the bottom of every post, I put, enter to win a chance to win this free. Click on this link, and they have to put their email in, and then that contact information comes to me. Then I also use that Automattic CEO. Right now, I have all my customers in that Automattic CEO, and I send a weekly update. I've only been doing it for about 4 weeks consistently now, but every week I've had at least one person, because I leave in there, if you want to know about Insanity Max coming out in December, just email me back, and I'll get you the details as I get them. I've had at least one person each week out of that email who is a customer that has not been in contact with me recently say, I'm interested, keep me informed. Yeah. So I am now able to put them on that list and put them on a responder so that they will have the information. So, obviously I'm hoping that they're going to purchase. So come December, in Sandy Max, volume is going to go up because people are interested in a new program release.
Okay, so let's switch this back over to our inviting. So what, do you guys have any scenarios? Let's open it up. And if you guys have any scenarios that you're dealing with, you've dealt with, or you're afraid to deal with, let's talk about those now, because inviting is something that we're going to be around a lot of family next week. And I think it would be to our advantage to kind of get comfortable, get ideas, make it feel natural now than when you're on the spot and then you're sitting there kicking yourself because you had this amazing opportunity to say coaching and you didn't say those words. So that's happened to me multiple times, and each time I learn from it, each time I grow from it, and I always say I'm not going to let that happen again. So I'm willing to open it up to you guys if you have any questions or anything. Scenarios.
And we, just to make you feel better, we all miss opportunities. The other day, this lady came here to buy something off, like she just came to the house that I had sold online. And she said she was going to work out. And I was like, and I was just getting ready to work out. And I was like, so am I. I'm sorry I'm not showered or whatever, because it was like 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. And so she left, and Glenn goes, hashtag missed opportunity. Because I didn't share with her. I was just like, here's the bedding you bought. Oh, nice to meet you. And then of course I have like Smart Aleck here, which it was a missed opportunity, but I learned from it.
It's
Yeah.
thing, so.
I think personally, I just have a fear of mentioning it, just because I'm still on like my fitness journey. I'm not still where I want to be, and I get so insecure about that they'll be like, oh, you're a coach, how can you be a coach if you're not like super fit yet? And so like at a birthday party the other day, they asked me, what did you do? And I'm like, stay home, mom.
Mommy, you gotta say no. And I think people, you hear it all the time where top coaches say, like, people relate to someone that's on their journey, not someone that's like our neighbor. This is a perfect example. Our neighbor who is a diamond coach, and we get together with her, but she was our customer. Like, she had a baby, and she's actually going to be speaking on our call on December 10th. She had a baby and reached out, and I talked to her about, like losing the weight because she was feeling sad about it. And I said, we can help you. She bought a challenge pack. She got into one of our program or in our groups. This was like 2 or 3 years ago.
This was like when challenge groups just came about.
And we were just casually working our business on the side. She
was talking to Mark, we're talking about Leanne, Mark. Yeah.
And she had a great experience in the challenge group. She loved it. She loved Beachbody. She didn't sign up through us because in her eyes, I was already fit. Glenn was already fit. She didn't think that we understood her struggle. She signed up with a girl that was in the middle of, like, she was still overweight and she was on her journey, and they, that was who she related to. And Glenn was really upset about that. And I was like, whatever, like, I've had,
whatever.
but I think, Moppy, I think people, they like to see that, like, you're in the journey, and I try to tell people, like, I am a product of the product. I'm doing it every day, but it was different for her because she had just had her baby, and mine was 3 or 4 years old at the time, my last one. So
yeah, so don't worry about where you are in your journey. Be proud of it and know that, Beachbody is almost a $1 billion company. So you shouldn't feel awkward or feel insecure about the company itself either.
And I really think, like, what's given me confidence is knowing that, like, if you don't tell them that, the lady next to you might be a coach. Literally, there are coaches everywhere now. It's just growing and growing and growing. So if you don't tell them and try to, not even to invite them to coaching, but just to invite them to a challenge group, someone's going to. And then when they are in a challenge group, it's like, yeah, present the opportunity, because it's not, if someone else says 6 months from now, well, are you a coach? You drink Shakeology every day. And what if they're like, my coach never even told me I could do it for a discount. Then, so I'm like, I want my customers to be informed. And for some of them, I'll even say, this may not be for you, but I like to put this out there for all of my customers so they know that there is an opportunity to save money and to earn money if you are interested.
Keep in mind, I've been in scenarios where I've talked to somebody and they may already know I'm a coach, and I see them again, and we're about to end the conversation, and a great way to bring it up is, oh, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, would you ever be interested in joining one of our challenge groups? And I mean, I know that's not a coach invite, but that's still
that's a step to get
right.
there.
Get these get these potential customers to be customers, and then later on we can upgrade them to to coaches. So that's another way to do it. Just a casual, oh, hey, by the way, do you mind, or would you be interested in learning more about these challenge groups? But yeah, I'm reading a message.
Oh, Dan's message.
Dan's message here.
Yeah, I agree with Dan that people are encouraged to know that you're they can relate to you if you're on your journey. So
Yeah.
And just for the record, just for the record, Moppy, I saw that big smile, and I feel like when you read that made you feel good, right?
Yeah.
And I do mean that, but that response is directly from the customer to coach objection list in the back office. Like, there are going to be coaches, there are going to be people who say, I just don't think, I'm not there. I can't be a coach. I'm not in shape. And this is the response that they give, but I think it's spot on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you fall right into this. And this is what I would tell another person. Like, if you were presenting it to somebody to be a coach and they said, I'm just not at the end of my journey, or, and I'm not there. And this could be something you would say, so-and-so, I know how you feel, because I used to think the exact same thing, or sometimes I still do. But I found that being in perfect shape can actually be intimidating to people just starting out. People are encouraged to know that, it doesn't have to be a ton of detail. It can be simple, but you relate to them by saying that I know how you feel, because I used to feel the exact same way.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My question on that is, how do you get over that fear then if you feel that way a little bit? Because I feel exactly the same way. I'm totally like that. I'm in the middle of my journey too, and I feel like, how is this person going to trust me if I'm in the middle of my journey? So how do you get over that?
You just take that leap. Then who is it, Darren Hardy, that says you got to get over that 20 seconds of fear and just do it. And then the more you do it, just like making a video or introducing it, like presenting a challenge group, the more you do it, the more comfortable. Like, once you can talk to someone when they give you an objection, or the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll feel. Just picture all of us going, Lindsay, Lindsay, Lindsay.
That will help, actually.
But, Lindsay, give us an example. Like, just give us a fearful thought that you have about it. Can you put it into a scenario?
Well, like, some of the people that are interested are some people that I know. Mm-hmm. And I've even shown them like before and after pictures, and I tell them I'm still doing this, and even just to share pictures is a big thing, because that's really personal. And then you get that excuse, well, I'm not ready, I don't want to spend the money, and I just kind of feel like I put my heart out there and it sucks and I failed, but it's hard to be sometimes.
It's tough. And, I would say that if they say they aren't ready yet, I always just tell people, listen, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to be doing this for a long time. I believe in these programs. I believe in the nutrition, the Shakeology, and I love sharing this with people. So when you're ready, call me. I'll be there. I want to help you. I'd love to help you.
Or do you care if I follow up with you next month?
Or you could say that as well. In fact, I'd prefer, I'd recommend that you say that. that's fine. Right now may not be a good time, but do you mind if I follow up in a month or two?
And all too, Lindsay, I'll say, and I've said this on numerous calls, so I'm sorry to repeat myself, but I will say if someone gives me, like, they'll say, well, I already have a gym membership and I don't even use it. And my husband won't let me buy anything else because I have like 10 programs on the shelf. Then I'll say, listen, I would just encourage you, whether you buy something or do a group with me, or you get back to the gym, or, dust off one of your programs, I would just encourage you to do something. I mean, look at these pictures. I am proof that, like, when you take time for yourself, you can make changes, and you're worth it. And then they see, like, then I'll have people write back and say, thank you so much. Like, they may never be a customer of mine, but they know that I'm passionate about just helping people. And maybe then they'll come back to me 6 months later. Maybe if they know a friend that's struggling, they'll refer them. Like, but the goal is to help as many people as possible. And some people, they just need that push, and they are back to the gym, or they do dust off the program they bought 2 years ago and never used. So, I mean, not that that's going to help your income, but maybe when they complete that program, but they'll have trust in you when you show them you're not just about the sale. You're about telling them you are worth it. And look at my pictures. Like, that's why I wanted to share these with you, because I want you to know you can do this too.
Yeah.
That's why I like what you said. Don't mistake my passion for pressure.
Right.
That's a really good way to talk about it, because sometimes I do feel like I'm bothering people, and when I follow up, because I'm just excited for them to start too.
Right. And you can say, when you say don't mistake my passion, you can say, I feel so much better, and I want other people to reach, realize they can feel better. I want other people to know, it's possible to reach your full potential if you just take some time for you.
Yeah. And Lindsay, I think too, the fact that you were willing to be vulnerable and put it out there and get stomped and be brave enough to do it again, that's what makes you real. That's what makes you relatable. That's what makes people want to follow you.
And talk about courage. My goodness. I mean, I think you've overcome the biggest obstacle there is as far as just putting yourself out there with pictures, I mean, that's, give yourself a pat on the back, because a lot of people can't get past that.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, the key is to keep doing that so that you're consistent. And then when you do have struggles like that, be on these calls so that we can pick you back up and you can keep doing it.
Okay.
Because if you're not consistent, if you do it once and then you fade away and you let that defeat you, then they don't get to see the consistency of you sharing your story.
And you can share those, like, post and stay true. If there's not a call that day, I mean, you can always call one of us, but you can post it right there and stay true. Like, oh my gosh, you should hear what this lady just told me, and then
I love reading those. I love reading those, like, play-by-plays going on, and it's
or
fun.
just call us. We should have our cell phones all in the Stay True. We should have a document and Stay True with our cell phones.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we? Because, like, you interact on Facebook, but I don't know a lot of people's cell phone number. Like, you can text me anytime and say, this lady, and I'll just say, you're awesome. Because sometimes it just, look at Dan. He's giving me. Let's all text Dan right now and blow up his phone.
I think I will right now, actually.
Put him in there.
What else, guys? I know there's so many different scenarios, but I mean, I think when you read this document and you look at it, you can simplify it to each scenario as far as, okay, it's all these hundreds of different scenarios you're going to face or come across. They can all relate back to one of these. These were compiled from Beachbody, from top coaches, from our own experiences, from Dan's experiences as a trainer already in fitness. So it's very, I think it's a kind of a very good playbook to look at. And then you want to keep the message consistent in each of these, but you want it to sound like you. You know what I mean? Like, some of this doesn't sound like me, so I'd look at it and I'd change the wording a little bit and maybe change the delivery style a little bit. But personalize them to you. So any other questions?
Well, there was one thing that you mentioned that I'm really bad at is when you write an email, when you were talking about the document that you're gonna share on Evernote. At the end, you said something like, "Well, are you ready to sign up?" You know.
Right.
Yeah.
That, like, I've read in so many different books and stuff that you need to close with a question so that they
Right.
And a positive question, or like, watch the video and get back to me about what you liked. I even feel awkward about writing that, but we just have to do it and hit send. Don't even think about it.
Right.
But and that's, I think, if we maybe come up with like 10 different lines on how to close it, because I'm like that, I can spend like half an hour. I'm looking at the email. I'm like, for goodness sakes, I just click send.
Just send it. Send that thing.
And it could be as simple as just rewording it. Like this saying, does that sound interesting to you? I don't see myself saying that. I would say, would this be something you'd be interested in? You see what I mean? It's just small word changes like that. It's saying the same thing. It's just saying it how I would say it. So when you're reading these,
and Moppy, I've done, what did Dan say? That may be a little direct. I've done something at the end of, not for coaching yet, but I'm getting braver with the coaching. Yeah, like, see how Dan said, are you in? Let's go. I've done that for challenge groups where like and this is good for you too, Lindsay, someone's hemming and hawing, I don't know, I just don't have enough money, and I'll, like, there was one girl where I just literally, I don't know what, I was just in like a very motivating mood. I wrote back and I was like, listen, you're never gonna, like, you have to challenge yourself to change yourself. And I'm gonna tell you that I've seen, and it was about the 21-day fix, I've seen this program work for multiple different people, but you just have to take that step and do it. You're worth it. Come on, let's go. You can do this. And I just sent it, and she wrote back and was like, call me tonight. I'm ready to order. And it's like, because maybe we're the only person in that person's life that's going, yes, you can do this. They may have a spouse that just is down on them, or.
She didn't point to me just now, by the way.
Like, who cares what he says? Just, they need encouragement, but I mean, you don't know. So many people have so much of their life, their jobs or their family or whatever is negative. So then as soon as you give one person that little glimmer of like, this is hope, there's hope for you, they do want to jump on board.
Yeah.
What is Dan saying? Oh, hope is a powerful thing. Dan, why are you not talking? You're messing me up with the messages.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I don't want to make this call too long. We're already at the 53-minute mark, so that's a long call for us, and I apologize. But I think
that's why I was messaging.
This is a
because I'll talk too much.
Crucial topic, guys. And I mean, if we want to build our business, if your desire is to make this a long-term income-producing residual income, and or walk away from your job, or bring in more money to the family, then it's something that we just need to make that why more powerful than the fears that we have. And for Beth and I, it's turned into Beachbody now. It's turned into not a want to, but it's now a have to, which has added a little bit more.
Oh, we're brave now.
Yeah,
there's like,
it's amazing. but see what changed was our why. So now we have to. So we should look at this. If we want to pursue something, then you should pursue it. Like, you have to get there. It's not about wanting to anymore. It's you have to get there. And if you don't get there, then you've failed, And so that's the way that I'm looking at it. And that's the way that I think that I wish I would have had that light put on it 2 years ago when I, I've been a coach almost 4 years ago. I'd say 2 years now. I've been working on it more consistently and taking it more serious. But I wish, 3 years ago I would have been in that mindset, because, man, it would have been an amazing journey, and it still is. It's still going to be, but it would have happened a long time ago. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this call out. And you guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, please let's start talking and messaging in Team Stay True, and give us all of our different scenarios, and give you all support in there. So I will talk to you all later. Good night.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.